And hello, welcome back to another episode of Misfits Room. How is everybody doing? I'm in a good mood today. You want to know why? For those of you listening to the audio version of this podcast, just know that the purple background is finally gone. Yes, I know that I said I was going to leave it up for the October-esque holiday year decoration, and then I changed my mind because I said no, I'm not. I can't. Maybe the last week of October I put it back up just to like celebrate, but like right now I can't. It was messing with my psyche, it was messing with my mood. I couldn't do it, and every time I would try and record another like podcast episode, like it would like physically and like mentally bother me in such a way that whenever I would edit it, I was just like, but like, why? You know what I mean? But like, why? And speaking of that, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not gonna be. Yeah, this isn't gonna be the only white background. Okay, for those of you listening on audio, it's white background. Not that you care because you listen on the audio version, but like, I'm looking at my calendar. Sorry, but I guess you're only gonna see this background once this month, and then next week, the week after this episode comes out, is when I'll bring back the purple background. I still have yet decided, or have not decided yet, whether I'm going to participate in the whole costume thing. It's a lot. And I was at the store today and I was just like, oh, perfect time, buy a costume, get it over with. And then I was like, but like, why though? You know what I mean? I'm gonna like, but why though? I couldn't justify a real reason to dress up, so it just didn't happen. So here we are. Okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. Also, this squeaky chair is like so annoying. Also, it's so hot right now. I'm sweating. Honestly, at this point, I'm getting so over the braids in my head that I'm like so ready to like rip them out. I'm sweating. I did like what 45 minutes worth of makeup, which let's be honest, I took my time with it. But can you hear it in my voice? I'm so exhausted every time I start. Oh my god! And you're just okay. We're gonna reel it in. We're gonna woosah, and we're gonna get into this episode because it's a good episode. I'm feeling it. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. New back, blah, 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 blah. I can't speak. New background, feeling like a new woman, but I still don't know how to speak English to this day. Yeah, but yeah, we're walking the right. We're walking. We're not walking. We're talking, and but we are rocking. When am I gonna get this right? When am I gonna get this right? We're rocking the white background right now. I love it. I'm feeling it. Although it does feel a little empty. We're listen, it's a work in progress. You know, we went to purple, and from purple we went to white. You know what? No, first of all, we started off with no background. We started off with a messy room. Then we worked in the purple background. Then we worked in a white background. Soon we're gonna get there. Trust me, we're gonna get there. Again, for those of you listening to the audio version, I know none of this matters to you, but like it matters to me. And if you're listening to me, you matter, and I hope that you would care about things that matter to me. I don't know where I was going with that, but just you know, you know, you know. All right. So, anyways, I thought that first of all, again, episode what 11 I think this is, and it's like it still doesn't get any easier talking to myself. So I have like several moments where I'm just like and like silent just to like collect my train of thoughts because I can ramble, but then to a certain point I'm like, wait, what? And then I sit there in silence. So at a certain point I thought that this podcast would not be like an very edited sort of thing, but like I'm talking to myself and it's hard. So just bear with me. So to start off, to kick off this episode, I came up with the idea of like having like a little mini segment in the beginning of the podcast just to like, what's the word, warm up, if you know what I'm saying. So first of all, let's just talk about my week. What did I do this week? Let's just talk about my week. What did I do? Went to work, 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 went to work. That's pretty much it. All I did was go to work. Let's see what else is there. What else is there? Um Oh, another thing that I'm pretty sure nobody else cares but me because I think I'm much more invested in YouTube than anybody else that listens to this podcast right now, especially the people that I listen to. But Shane Dawson, if anybody knows who Shane Dawson is back in the YouTube world. I'm so excited. We're not going to talk about the whole thing that he went through last year, but I'm so glad and happy that he's back because I was missing it. I watched that man on YouTube for years and he just disappeared for like almost 2 years and now he's finally back. So that's exciting for me. If any of you know who that guy is, I'm sure you might agree with me. But yeah, he's also back on the YouTube realm. And anything there's other things that happen within the week, but I'm gonna talk about there's some things that I have to address in the next couple of minutes. But yeah, that's what's happened with my week thus far. Okay, so after we finished talking about my boring week, I figured that we would have a little like fun facts sort of segment of things that like I would have never known. So I looked up a couple and see it. I just literally typed in fun facts just to like see if there's anything out there that I've never heard of. And I'm gonna tell you about three that literally like struck a chord with me and I was just like, what? Whoa. So one fun fact is that polar bears have black skin and actually their fur isn't white. It's see-through, so it appears white as it reflects light. That is crazy. I never knew that. I never knew that. Black skin, I would have never known. And then, like, you've never, I don't know. Has anybody seen, like, a newborn polar bear, like, be born? That is interesting. I would have never known that. Another one is that there are no muscles in your fingers. Their function is controlled by muscles in your palms and arms. That's crazy. That the palm of my hand is what creates movement in my fingers. That's wild. Okay, and then lastly, another one is that it is impossible to hum while holding your nose. That I didn't know. Let's just try it. So, wow. I literally, like, I'm gonna hum and then I'm gonna pinch my nose. Huh. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, now that we're done nerding out for the first couple minutes of this podcast, we're going to move on to the main topic today. And the first thing that I really wanted to discuss, because it's just been sitting on the top of my head for the past couple days right now, and I listen. Kylie Jenner girl, I got to bring you to the congregation and we just have to have a talk or something because like don't get me wrong, I like Kylie Jenner. She's a mood, her body's aesthetics, hashtag goals or whatever. Her kid, Stormy, she's also pregnant with another kid. I hope it's a boy. Just her whole vibe, her aesthetic, whatever. Great, cool, love it. Let's talk about Kylie Cosmetics. Can we just talk about that? Okay. Me and her, we have beef because not that I've ever bought, I don't think I've ever bought one of her products, but that doesn't mean that I can't judge it for what it is and how I see it. With that being said, we're just gonna type. First off, I want to start off by saying that she's clearly a mogul. She clearly knows how to make her money. She's very much overall a money making person. Her whole family, all the whole Kardashian Jenner clan, they all know how to make their money. Cool, I'm fine with that. But the products that you put out to make this money, could you at least put a little bit of more thought into it? You know what I mean? Before releasing it into the world. Because in the beginning it was all like, the hype and whatever. But like now I'm just like, honey, good child, all of your shit looks the same, okay? All of it. All of it. And when it first started out with the whole lipsticks and whatever, it was cool. I liked it, all the new colors or whatever. But first of all, so I want to start off by saying that most of her shades are not black people tailored, like people of darker skin. They're not tailored to that. I've tried it, and most of them they don't tailor to my skin, and I'm not even like that dark. So you can imagine everybody else. So that's one of the complaints I had with her. Like I was all for it when the first couple shades came out, and then when the next couple of shades, pretty much all the shades that came out after that, none of them, for the most part, a majority of them, maybe one or two, but a majority of them are not tailored to people of my skin tone. So honey, Kylie, we gotta talk. What is going on? And I do understand that she did sell her company and she doesn't own a majority of that company anymore. But like it's still it's your face is still on it, your name is still on it. So like come on. You know what I mean? So that's one of my issues with her. Um Another thing with her is that girl, all of your palettes look the same. Let's just play a game of spot the difference, okay? If you're listening on audio, just close your eyes and picture her one of her three of her billions of palettes that she has, okay? I'm gonna put them up. I'm gonna put a couple on the screen here for the video watchers, but we're gonna play a game of spot the difference. Okay, I'm gonna put three up here. All right, I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to really think and tell me what you think the difference is between these three palettes. All right, now that you think you have your answer, I'm going to tell you what the real answer is. Nothing is different. They all look the same. They literally all look the same. And honestly, it didn't really bother me as much until like her recent palette came out, and it's with the what's his name? I have to look it up because I don't know. What is it called? What is it called? It just came out. She announced it 2 days ago. It's the Kylie's X Nightmare on Elm Street. It's supposed to be like the Freddy collection. Not 2 days ago, I'm lying. She announced it 4 days ago, which is I could care less. Anyways, but she collaborated with one of these. What is it? Is it Jason or Freddy? I don't remember. But she collaborated for like a Halloween palette, and honestly, I'm like, oh my god, okay, cool, we're getting somewhere, and I'm excited, and maybe just maybe I might buy something this time, and then I'm waiting for her to to see what the palette is actually gonna look like, and then I see it, and I'm like, oh, it's like another one of your palettes that all look the same gold, the same pinks, and the same silver shimmery. It's honestly all the same color. All of it. I'm so over it. It's not. And then it's just like another it's just like the pictures that she took to promote it has like nothing to like there's this one video, like one of the main videos when she first announced it. I think it was this one, yeah. One of the main videos that she took to announce it was this like blood dripping on her, and it's just like none of this resembles your palette because again, most of your palettes have gold, pink, and like none of it gives me Halloween vibes. There's not one orange, there's not one green, there's not one deep, none of it. It's pink, more pink, baby pink, a little bit of purple, a blue. None of it screams Halloween to me. And like just why? And no, and then you have lashes. Nobody cares about, okay, the fact that there's lashes in it, and then again, three lipsticks that honestly look like the same exact shade that she has in most of her other lip kits. So like, honey, why? Look at it. Look at it. I'm looking at it right now. None of it is Halloween vibe type. They all look the same to me. It's annoying. It's really it's and honestly, I have no, what's the word? Like honestly, my opinions are not that valid because I'm not a beauty guru or anything, but at the same time, if you're gonna put something out and you're gonna have your face on it, you gotta try a little harder. You do, because I'm so disappointed. And like honest, I don't know, I just it got me so heated. I was so heated and I was rooting for her. But I guess that's what happens when you sell your company. You don't own your company anymore, so they pretty much just make the palette, put it in front of you, and you say yes or no, and then they go and make it. Like none of it screams spooky at all. It just screams Kylie Jenner, 24 karat birthday, whatever. Every other birthday, every other summer collection, every other money palette, it all looks the same to me, and like it's so annoying. And she still makes money off of it, as if like, and I feel bad because I know her fans are like so excited, with the PR package and then the box that it comes in, and oh, it's so cool or whatever. And then you open it and it's just like you put all the palettes next to each other and they all look the same. And it's just like, but like, why though? But like, why? I don't understand. Like, even the lip kits, you could have come out with like a light orange or a something. And she came out with a pink, a red, and some sort of beige one. girl. And like, let's also talk about like the like just the pipeline of just like celebrities and things that I'm sighing a lot right now, but like if only you knew my frustration because I really do like this girl. I think she's cool and I think she's then again it's a family name thing. That's mostly why she's also famous, but not really, but still, you know what I mean. But like the whole Kylie baby thing too. The fact first of all, the name Kylie baby, like that bothers me. Like you couldn't come up with something like different and like new. Like she has Kylie Cosmetics, she has Kylie baby, she now has Kylie swim. What else does she have? It's just like, come on. Come on. Or Kylie skin as well. Like why Kylie every like I'm gonna dial it back. I'm gonna dial it back. But I'm gonna dial it back, but like let's also talk about how Kylie skin and Kylie baby, they honestly look like the exact same packaging. Instead of it being baby pink, it's like baby like pink and blue and purple. Like you couldn't have come up with anything different. Like it's just the same aesthetic all throughout. And I was expecting something different and new, and it's not. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And I'm really like rooting for her. But like now I'm just starting to like, even like let's look at Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian has like KKW, but it's like different for like KKW, and then she also has Skims, and then like you know what I mean. Like there's a variety, and it's not all like the same. I don't know how to explain it. It's just she bothers me so much, but I like her so much. But I'm getting to a point where it's just like, honey, you gotta think outside of the box. But then again, she's like set for life and she doesn't need to like work another day in her life. Even her baby, like both of her children or whatever, are gonna be set for life and she never has to do anything again. But like, think outside of the box, you know, a little ingenuity, you know what I mean? And let's not forget the backlash and shit that she's been getting about Kylie Swim because I honestly feel like she didn't really put a lot of thought into the whole bathing suit business because a lot of people are getting bathing suits with like weird stitching on it, or it's like ripped, or it's just like she has to pump the brakes on a couple of things and like really give a lot of things more thought because I just feel like if she slaps, I think she thinks that if she just slaps her name onto it, it's gonna be fine and nobody's gonna say anything about it. But like she needs to reel it in a little bit. She needs to talk to her team a little bit. She might need to hire more better people on her team. But like I'm sick and tired of seeing the same stuff. I'm sick and tired of seeing her come up with new brands or new products or whatever, but it's still the exact same aesthetic, still the exact same packaging, even just in a different color. Like I'm like bored. I'm so bored at this point, and I've honestly contemplated unfollowing her. Like let's think about her siblings because we have, let's say, Kendall. Kendall does her modeling and stuff, and then she came out with 818. That is completely like whoa. You know what I mean? Like it's so different. She's not trying to slap her name onto something and just like push it. You know what I mean? It's different. It's tequila. It's just different. And let's also think about like um Khloe Kardashian with her Good American. Like that's different. It's just fresh set of eyes. It's not the same exact palette 4 or 5 different times in 4 or 5 different arrangements. I can't. And I hate to make the comparison, but like if we're gonna compare them to somebody to like show you exactly what I mean, if you know Jeffree Star, like Jeffree Star, with every one of his palettes, it's always different. The cremated palette that came out with like shades from like white to black. Then there's the bloodlust palette. It's like a purple, like the purple background. It looked exactly like the purple background, but it was like a purple velvet thing, and it came out with so many different colors. Then there's one that came out like Pink Religion with a whole bunch of different shades of pink. He recently just came out probably a couple weeks ago with the Pricked palette that has like different shades of like orange and like burnt orangey stuff. Different. Why can't she pick it up? But we're gonna take a real quick break. We gotta reset. We'll But would you look at that? We have a sponsor today. As you guys may know, I own a clothing brand named Misfits House. It's an emerging clothing line that is literally so comfortable. It makes you feel right at home. Get it? Misfits House? Because you feel at home? You get it. We just went through a major rebranding and have upped our quality and have many more new products coming soon. So if you go to our website, that's www.themisfitshouse.com. That's Misfits, Misfits house.com. Sign up for a newsletter and you automatically get 20% off your first order. What could be better than that? 20% off your first order? That's like the best thing ever. It's going to be the most amazing thing you've ever put on your body. So trust me, go to the website www.themisfitshouse.com, sign up for the newsletter, and you won't be sorry. Okay, and we're back. I gotta get better at the whole camera timing thing because after a certain amount of time, the camera is like, gotta reset, gotta stop. It's gotta stop and reset and do all this extra stuff. But anyways, we're back and we were talking about Kylie Cosmetics in comparison to Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and honestly, I feel like at a certain level, okay, I know I'm pretty sure nobody cares about this whole makeup thing that I'm like obsessing over right now, but it's gonna be over in a second. But like Jeffree Star Cosmetics and Kylie Jenner Cosmetics were like at the same playing field like probably like 3 years ago, and like now it's just like it's like they're astronomically different, and I guess that they both have money and it doesn't affect them in any way, but I view Jeffree Star Cosmetics a lot higher than I do Kylie because Kylie has done the same exact thing for months, for years now that I'm kind of over it. Like there's nothing new, there's nothing different, and no matter how many new products and brands and lines she wants to come out with, it's all the same, and I'm bored. But if Jeffree Star came out with mascara, but like that mascara, you would think that it's gonna be like everything else, but it's not. It's different. It's like it's designed to be like a whip or something. Like Jeffree Star came out like mascara, and I bet you all the other stuff that he's gonna come out with, like he's gonna do his own skincare line, I'm sure, and whatever. And I'm sure that's gonna be packaged different. I'm sure that's gonna have a different image to it, and it's not all gonna look the same in the same pink bottle and the same formula. You know what I mean? That was my beef. I'm over it. I talked about it. We're good. I'm gonna move on because me talking about it is not gonna change anything. But like as a consumer, not consumer, but like I consume these products with my eyes, it bothers me. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Not that any of you care about makeup as much as I do. Well, I barely even do, but like still. That was my rant. Thank you for letting me rant. Okay, but moving on to the next thing that I wanted to like mention real quick. I have written it down to like talk about it. I just a couple days ago was like, how do I introduce this topic? Have you ever thought about like messaging your favorite celebrity like on Twitter or on Instagram or whatever it is? Have you ever thought about messaging them? Because this just happened to me recently. So I was just chilling. I don't know what I was doing. I was probably like watching YouTube or whatever in my bed, and then I came out and I was doing a thing where you scroll on your phone, but then you also have the TV on, which is like counterproductive. But like I was doing that and I just ended up on my phone somewhere, and there's this person that I've watched on YouTube forever. Her name was Lily Singh. She used to go by Superwoman, but now she's just Lily. But you know, she's grown. Whatever. Not gonna get into it. But like I follow her on Instagram now, and or for a while now. Why am I justifying it? Anyways, I follow her. I've followed her on Instagram for a while now, and she had made this post on an Instagram story, just to like for you to get the gist of it real quick. She was talking about, oh, I'm on my period right now, and I would honestly feel like, you know, if I just had a scoop of ice cream or whatever, it would make me feel better. Something to the lines of that. And then some weird person or follower or whatever like commented on her picture saying you should be using your platform. You shouldn't be using your platform to like send out bad messages to people. You can't be telling your followers that ice cream is gonna fix their period problems and a whole bunch of bullshit, whatever. And I was just like, psycho lady, but okay. But like, it was on her story, and her stories are set up in a way where I could respond, like anybody could respond. So I was like, I'm gonna respond to her. Not that she's ever gonna look at it, but I'm just gonna respond to her. And then I literally sat there, and I was just like, I gotta curate the most perfect response. But in the back of my head, I'm like, she's never gonna read it or like see it. So why am I thinking about my response so badly and so like hard? And I was like, fuck it. So then I just started typing, and then I untyped and typed and untyped, and then finally, actually, let me just look it up right now. Actually, so I finally meshed her. So I finally just ended up like typing like I'm at a loss for words. Laughed the whole way down. I like ice cream. Like she repost. Okay, so I'm like all over the place. So like she posted the comment onto her story, and then I read it, and then I responded to her like I'm at a loss for words. That person is crazy. I laughed the entire way, like reading her stupid comment. I like ice cream, right? Sent it. And then after I closed my phone and I was just laying there, I was like, why did I make a big deal writing a response to a story to a celebrity that I know is never gonna see it? Like, why did that work me up so much? I was like, wow, I got issues. And then I put my phone down. Literally, I kid you not, when I was typing this topic into my phone in my notes to like talk about it on this podcast, to just be like, why do people act like that? I literally get a message back from her. From her. And she says to me, it was too funny not to share. And I said, wait, what? Did did this just happen? I was just like, wait a minute. Oh my god. It's so crazy to just think or feel or just I don't know with some sort of like person you think is a celebrity or like a person who is untouchable in that sense, like a very famous YouTuber, very famous lifestyle beauty blogger or whatever. Some of these people you feel like you're out of reach with them and you won't be able to like ever like talk to like a Johnny Depp or Beyonce or whatever. And it's like people like that where you think you'll never talk to them or they'll never respond, like you're just invisible. And then they talk to you and you're just like, you know, some of these people you just feel like they're so out of reach. And then for her to just message me, and I was just like, oh my God. And then I remembered this was not the only time that she has like responded to anything. I think months ago, it was many months ago when she had her second season of her late night show, and she would have like these reruns or like little snippets or highlights on her YouTube channel. I don't know what it was, but I tweeted something on Twitter, and then she like reposted it or something, and I was like, thank you so much, I'm glad that you liked it. And I said, wait a minute, no, not I didn't even like notice it until like probably like hours later, because I would get like notifications on my like Twitter, but I really don't understand Twitter. I'm really trying this year, but I sometimes I get these like random like Twitter notifications of like people that I don't even follow at this point, just because Twitter sees that I barely don't use it, so they try to give me notifications to like engage me within the app. So I thought I was just getting another random like Twitter notification, and like I just skimmed it and like deleted it and didn't care. And then I don't know if it was that same day or not. I can't remember. I think it was the same day, but like a couple of hours later maybe. Um I saw and I'm like, what is this notification? And I'm reading it and I was like, wait a minute, that's my tweet. And I'm like, wait a minute, what does this mean? And then I'm looking at it and I was like, she responded to my tweet, and she said, oh, like I'm glad that you like the show and yada yada. And I'm like, oh my god, certain people that you feel like are so out of reach, for them to like message you and like be human for a second when you well, they are humans, but you don't really think that people like that are human, so you don't expect that to happen. For them to be humanized for a split second when they message you, it's just like, oh my god, no way. There's no way. There's no way that this is happening to me right now. So I just, when that happened a couple days ago, I remember that Twitter, like that, I don't know how to explain it. Twitter tweet, whatever. But I remember that tweet and I was like, oh my God. So like that's the second time that I've talked to her, and I honestly feel like I'm so cool. I'm like, what's that word? I'm like secondhand famous at this point. You know what I mean? Feeling cool about it. I'm happy about it. And to like think that I literally sat there and I could have missed my chance. I could have not responded to the Instagram story, or I could have not tweeted, or I could have done it and I could have done it hours after the fact and she would have never saw it in the stream of other people, of many other followers that she has that would have responded. And I'm just like, oh, But she responded to me. She responded to me though. So that was just it was an interesting day for me. And honestly, I can't. And I know that one day I'm gonna meet these people and I'm just gonna be like, I was a literal shrimp when you messaged me and it meant the world to me. And I keep hitting this glass of wine in front of me. I don't know why. Back to topic. And I was like, yeah, I these people honestly don't know. Or I think they do, but like I don't think these people understand how much something as little as just like responding or like hearting or liking a response or a tweet means to people. And honest, I just felt seen. You know what I mean? I felt seen. It felt great. It just was a highlight of my day. But yeah, that's that with that. Also, I want to address something that I said, I think 2 episodes ago, one of my episodes that I titled Do I Tip? I got a comment that stated, can't remember it, but like insinuating that like I don't tip at all. And that's not the case. I do when I can, but like I'm the type of person I can't carry cash. I don't like to carry cash. I feel like although I know it's a weird hypothetical thing to always think about, but I feel like you are more susceptible of getting robbed of more money if you like carry cash around, because cash, like hard cash, like literal dollars and coins, like people can, if you get robbed they can steal that and there's no way of ever getting that back, as opposed to your purse getting robbed and they only took your credit cards and your debit card. That's something that you can like stop, and there's, if they ever like end up spending it or swiping or whatever, there's a trail and you can follow that and eventually find the person who robbed you. It doesn't always work that way, but for the most part it helps to, it helps when they take your debit card and they use it, or your credit card or whatever it is. But when it's hard cash, when it is dollar bills, when it is 20 whatever dollar bills it is, that is something that you can't get back and that is something that you cannot track. So I personally, I don't like to carry cash. So whenever it comes to a time or a point where I need to tip, like tomorrow I'm gonna get my nails done and I went to, what was it, Walmart today? I went to Walmart and I was like, oh, I remembered I need cash to tip the person. So I got cash back and I have that now. And now I have it to spend when I get my nails and I tip these people. For the most part, I try to tip when I have cash. I don't normally carry cash because I can. It just, it's something to me that it doesn't make me feel secure. I don't like it. It bothers me. But to the point of tipping, when I don't have cash, when I like don't intend on dining out, but then I do end up dining out, sometimes it bothers me because you never really truly know when that tip that you put on the receipt is going to go to the person that serves you. When it's cash, they can pocket it and they can take it with them and it's theirs. But when it's like, oh, I'm going to add $3 onto a piece of paper to this receipt, I don't honestly know, or do I trust the restaurant to give these people their tip. Or even like my nail place. My nail place doesn't accept tip on the card, and that really got me started thinking for a while now, maybe this is why they don't do that sort of tip, because they would rather you give the cash to the person if you want to tip them, and tip them that way, because they're already gonna get like their payroll at the end of the day anyway. But like regular hard, I keep saying hard cash, but like just regular cash, tangible money in your hands, they would much more prefer that because they can take that and leave and go home with it, as opposed to adding tip to a piece of receipt that you just never know. So that was what I was trying to get at, but I just realized that I never really explained it in that episode. But like I do tip, but not all the time, and I try to, but I don't always, because I don't always trust certain businesses to actually give it to their employees. And yeah, I don't like to carry cash. Makes me feel really insecure. It makes me feel like I'm gonna get robbed. Not that I'm going to, but like the day I'd be like, oh, of course, the day that I carry cash is the day that I'm gonna get robbed. You know what I mean? I don't like to do it. And honestly, another reason that I don't like to carry cash is because I feel like I'm much more susceptible to use it and run out of money quicker, because cash, like you see it, you spend it, you know what I mean, as opposed to swiping your card. You have to really think about how much money do I have in my bank account. You have to open your bank account and look before you really try and spend a huge amount of money as opposed to cash. It's in your hand and you know how much you have and you just spend, like, you just, you know what I mean? At least that's how it is for me. I don't know about anybody else, but like that's what I meant when I said I don't really tip that much, if that makes sense. And I know that people work hard and certain people deserve their tips, but like I don't really plan it when I go to restaurants. That's why I don't really go to restaurants, because it's at the end of the day it's a lot of money, because you're paying for your food and then you're also paying for the service. And a lot of people work really hard to be really nice to certain people just to get their tip, and for the most part that's why I don't go to many restaurants, or when I do it's a treat, but I don't go as often, so I don't really expect to have cash on me, because it just randomly happens. Like my coworker will be like, oh, let's go to lunch, and I'm like, you know what, I haven't been in a while, why not, this is exciting, let's go. And then I go, and then once the food is over and it's done, and then you're like, oh right, I have to tip this person. So it's like sometimes I won't, because I just honestly don't feel like it'll go to them. But then sometimes I do give a little $3 or $4 tip on the paper, just showing to them, at least if they don't get it, like I appreciated their service in the job and how nice they were. But like I don't always do it, because I just don't trust businesses at this point right now in this pandemic to give their workers their tip. I don't know. But yeah, I hope that explains, or I hope that gives you a better understanding of what I was trying to say. I'm not a cheapo person, although I'm not that rich, but I do try to tip when I can. And when I do have cash, I normally do give out cash. But when I don't, that's the mind process that I go through when that happens. So yeah, I hope that clears up any confusion. But with that being said, we have to go to a break and I'll be back. And another thing that I wanted to talk about and really mention here, and just I honestly give you guys a highlight. I honestly just want to say thank you so much for everybody that's been honestly just listening, tuning in, whether it's on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, wherever you listen. I am immensely grateful, especially for those of you who've been listening on your streaming platforms. I know not a lot of people really like YouTube podcasts, because I mean it's much easier to listen to a podcast because you can turn your phone off or like your screen off and like listen as if you were listening to music. So I understand why a lot of people gravitate towards the streaming side of it or the audio version of it, but I honestly really do appreciate it. I saw a little jump in my viewers, and I'm excited about it. It makes me really happy. This is something that for a couple years now I've honestly thought about doing, but just didn't know how to execute it. And I also wanted to do this with someone else, and the way that we tried to do it, it wasn't really working. And I think I mentioned that in the first one or two episodes. And I really did want a co-host for this, because it's a little hard to just talk to yourself, especially like I make YouTube videos too. If you don't know, I make YouTube videos. Go follow me on YouTube or go subscribe to me on my YouTube. But I make YouTube videos every now and then, and it's a little easier because you can cut and whatever. I say this all the time, but you can always cut whatever you need, all the weird awkward silences, and it makes it a little more easier. But like on podcasts, I like to be a little more genuine, and it's honestly been helping me be a lot more talkative in a sense, because I don't really like to talk much. I don't know what it is, the lack of friends, I guess, or just the lack of socialization. I don't really talk much, and I just feel like I'm getting social in a sense, even though I'm just talking to myself, but I am getting a little more social with it. So I really do appreciate every one of you that's been listening and keeping up with me, and yeah, I really do appreciate it. It honestly means a lot, and I honestly feel like I can just be myself and talk about things that matter to me in my own way, and it doesn't have to be edited in such a way that my YouTube videos are, because YouTube videos are curated in a sense to gather an audience, but this is just me organically trying to grow an audience. I don't promote it 24/7, although now I don't promote it 24/7, but I'm starting to. But like at the same time, it just feels organic and it feels good. I'm happy with it, and honestly, I just feel like I feel like I'm talking to friends in a sense. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I have to be censored. I don't feel like I have to be someone else that I'm not. So I just really do appreciate the podcast platform in a way. And yeah, I do appreciate it. And I know that I said that I would be doing mini-sodes. That is going to be happening. I am going to be doing that. And I had a concept a couple weeks ago of what I wanted the mini-sodes to sound like and look like. But then when I did it, and it felt like another box. And like I need the mini-sodes to be close to what the main episodes are, but not exactly the same. I don't want to limit myself. So the idea that I had for the mini-sodes, it was just too specific in a way. So don't get me wrong, it's gonna happen, but like it's gonna take me a little more time to really get the logistics of it and really think it through, because I do want to have another podcast sort of thing to happen instead of these main episodes just once a week. I would rather, I'm honestly aiming for 2 episodes a week, but it's a work in progress. I have a lot of things going on with the podcast, with my YouTube channel, with my clothing line, and then all the social medias that go with those individual projects. But again, I do want to stress that I do appreciate every one of you, all of you, even the people who listen to the ads. It really means a lot. It really helps me a lot. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride, and hopefully in a couple months I don't stutter as much, I don't lose my breath as much, and hopefully I don't have to edit myself like video wise and like cut out all the silences, because sometimes like the video versions you can like see it, like I'll cut a lot because I just sit here in silence just trying to think of my next words. It's not really as cohesive when you're talking to a person face to face or like next to you, because you can always bounce back from each other. Like I'm talking to myself, and it's just really hard, but it's exciting and I like it, and it honestly brings me joy. And it's not something that I have to constantly curate or like make something or like have a general concept, because it could honestly be anything. So yeah, and it's honestly so hard this day and age to have some sort of hobby or just like something that interests you, especially a person of my age. Like I was very into making music and singing couple years ago, and something in my life happened, and it's been hard. So at that age, it's honestly hard to find something that excites you and motivates you to continue to do. You know, for a long time, I was just, I guess, depressed, not knowing what to do next, because I don't want to stay at the job that I work at now forever. I don't intend to. It's not something that I want to do. I'm very much a creative person. I very much, although I don't do music now, but I do know that one day, someday, I'm gonna go back to it. But I'm a creative person. I like making content. I like the influencer world. I like just the media, the management, all of it. That's my world, and I like that. And honestly, people have different paths that they go through to get to that. And I don't know, maybe podcasting is that way. Maybe my YouTube channel is that way. Maybe my Instagram is that way. I don't know. But all in all, I finally realized that that is something that excites me and that is something that I enjoy doing. And although it is a hobby in a sense, it's something that I do enjoy and I hope to make money off of, or like have a career out of. So I don't know. I just honestly, I just again want to thank everybody who's been listening, because it really does mean a lot to me. And for a small town person like myself, or just like a small person, like I've been shy all my life. I've had my issues with anxiety and depression and all of that, and I don't want to go into that because I'm not sad right now, but like for a person who thought that when music in a sense ended for me, when I could have sworn that that is the main thing that is going to take me somewhere, when that sort of chapter kind of closed a little bit and I was not in that realm, I didn't think that I would have anything to like lean back on and find happiness in. but I do now, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I just being 22 is young in a sense, but at the same time it's not young because you find your likes and your dislikes early on in your age, like 15 up until you're 18. You kind of get a general gist of what you kind of like, and I had my heart set out on that one thing, and that was music. And then for that to just kind of like tumble in the way that it did, I just wasn't excited about anything else. But I just doing with doing this and doing everything else, I kind of realized that I like to create things. I like to use my hands and my brain and my mouth and just my mind and my voice to just create things. And it means a lot to me that you guys are enjoying it. So again, I've said it 1,000 times already, but I really do appreciate all the listens. And if you are in a place that I was a couple months ago, whatever, it just takes time, and you honestly have to just try. As much as you feel like it's not going to go anywhere, as much as you feel like it's a waste of time, you never really know until you try. And if you don't try, you won't, you don't, what's the saying that they say? You only miss the shots you don't take, or something like that. So like, really just put yourself into it and allow yourself to fail, because you can't progress if you don't fail. Because if you don't fail at something, it means you're not even trying. You know what I mean? Like, you have to fail at certain things to know that that wasn't it, and then have enough strength to move on and say, I tried it, but I'm moving on to something else. You know what I mean? You have to try it. And as much as it is scary, as much as it sounds like a chore in a sense, because I really did want to do this, but at the same time it felt like a chore because I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. So as much as it feels like a chore, or like a something that you would rather procrastinate, I'm telling you, the moment you figure out that you want to do this for yourself, the moment that that happens, the moment that that clicks and you want to better yourself, I'm telling you, it's going to take off, and you're going to thank yourself later, you know? And it's not going to be easy, because life is not easy. It's ups and downs, twists and turns. It's a whole roller coaster, but just try. You never know until you try. And I'm so grateful that as much as I keep getting knocked down and I bring myself back up with my clothing line, I thought that it was going to go well, and I started my clothing business mid-pandemic, and literally with no money. I was furloughed. I didn't know when I was going to get hired back, but I said, I'm going to start a clothing line. I started it. I bought all the product that I thought I wanted to sell, and it was working for a while. And then after that while, I hit a point where I guess I knew that I was selling things that I didn't want to sell, but I was just trying to sell to make money, but I wasn't trying to do it as something that I truly enjoyed and liked. And that kind of plateaued, and then it kind of just, fell. And now I have a bucket of product that I could sell, but I don't want to sell because it's not me. It's not the aesthetic. It's not the brand that I wanted my clothing brand to be. But I needed that fall in order to know how to go up, if that makes any sense. So here I am, a year into my clothing business, and I'm at ground zero again, but I'm excited about it, if that makes any sense too. I'm at ground zero. I have two things on my website right now, two main things that I came out with probably like 6 months ago. But I have one new design that's coming out soon, and like even just the one design, I'm like, it's excited because I made it. It's mine, and it's not something that I'm just trying to like buy and resell because I just want to make the money out of it. It's something that I like and I enjoy. So honestly, you just really gotta spend time with yourself. Let yourself have or make mistakes. Let yourself fail because you have to fail. And be strong when it comes to the point where you hit rock bottom, where you fail, to pick yourself back up, because honestly that is what life is made of, and you just gotta keep on trying. So yeah, don't worry, I'm going to come out with a new podcast episode, sort of mini-sode thing that's going to come out on a Sunday. Not this Sunday, but one of these, probably in the next month or two. We're going to end up having 2 episodes a week instead of 1. Trust me, believe me, I am thinking about it. I'm just trying to get it all to work. I'm juggling 3 things at a time. Not that I'm complaining or anything, but like I'm finally grasping onto something and finally like making it work, and I am beyond excited and can't wait to see what the future holds. And like literally look at me, I have a new background. We were purple for like what 3 days, but like now we're in a white background for the one day, for the one time. Still don't know if I'm gonna dress up for Halloween. Honestly, it's a chore. It is such a chore for me. And like to dress up when like the majority of my audience only comes from like the streaming platforms. Like not a lot of people watch the YouTube version, which is okay, but like I'm not gonna dress up for 3 people. Like I don't know about that, but I'm thinking about it. I honestly am thinking about it. But I honestly am thinking about it. So we'll see. And if anything, it'll probably be the most basic thing ever. The Catwoman, you know how that goes. The cat ears and whiskers on your nose and you're done. But yeah. But yeah, we're gonna end this episode here today. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you like and truly enjoy the podcast, rate the podcast. I don't know where it is. I'm trying to think in my mind. I think if you go to the top of, like, say on Apple Podcast, you go to the top where there's like the 3 dots, and I think you click that, and then it gives you the option to like rate the podcast from like 1 to 5 stars. Rate it whatever you think. On YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Also leave me a comment if you want to leave me a comment. And also I have social media for the podcast, so you can go to Misfits Room on Instagram, and you can find me on Instagram on my personal page at misfit.u. And I also have a YouTube channel as well. And yeah, honestly, a lot of things are coming, and I'm just finally getting a grasp on things, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for being on this journey. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening. I said that already, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.